So all of a sudden what's happening to me is happening to you. And it's always, and it really is happening to all of us. And it's something that we have to really be aware of, because these little incremental changes eventually take something from all of us. Like I say, the world that I went to live in New York is no longer there. When you have a mayor who doubles his salary in the billions, when he's mayor, you know, he only wants to take $1 a year. He starts off at $7.5 billion, now he's got $15 billion. So if he just took one of his $1 billion, and there's 8 million people in Austria, there. So he gives everybody in Austria $1 million, and he's got lots left over because it doesn't even affect. So it's the problem of certain people are getting richer and richer and richer, and the rest of us are getting less and less and less. And so I think it's a serious business, and freedom is an important thing. And the great thing about the Lower East Side is you can be whoever you want it to be. You want to be a drag queen, you can be a drag queen. Who cares? You want to be a skinhead, be a skinhead. I'm not trying to regulate people's lives. I don't give a shit how people live. Let them be free. You know, freedom is what's important. But now it's like everybody's supposed to look the same. You go to rock shows, and the only way you can tell the difference between who's who is by what t-shirt they're wearing. Green Day, you know, used to be punks, used to be skinheads, used to be all these really different. You lived there from, was it 86 to 92?
93, yeah.
93. And you can see how much it's changed. And I'm sure you can see those changes happening over here.
Much more slowly.
Much more slowly. But like that whole Occupy New York thing, all of a sudden when you start thinking, oh, it's not going to happen in Austria and Germany, well then all of a sudden you have Greece, you have Ireland, you have Spain, you have Italy. So it is happening all over the world. And it's just that there are fewer people are making millions and billions of dollars, and the rest of the thing is drying up. I don't want to make this just political, because part of it's fun. You know, it used to be a lot of fun in those days. And in a way I'm blessed, because I'm older now. So I was able to live through a lot of those changes. And so for me it was a blessing to be able to see all of those parts happening. Anyway, if you like the movie, I hope you tell your friends, and hopefully we can keep this thing going. And again, Johan for sure. Johan, stand up for a minute there, the man from Wild Style. He's really the one that created... Did you have any questions?
I have a question, yeah. So you and I were looking at it through the lens of how much fun it was back then, how different it was back then. It's no longer the same, that it's worse in our view. But how do the people see it who live there now, who didn't know it back then? Are they having just as much fun as we had, or are they having a different kind of fun, or is it just robots?
Well, now, for example, Lower East Side is filled with a lot of its students. So it's kids coming there, so it's a transient population. They're there for 1 semester, 1 year, 2 years, and then they're gone. So there's no permanency at the neighborhood anymore. Like those kids that you saw on the front door, some of the little kids that were there, that was them. So, and now some of them, they have kids. So I photographed these multiple generations. But most of those people can no longer afford to move to live there, and so they're all moving out. And in comes the expensive apartment buildings. You used to be able to live for very cheap there. The genius behind everything that was happening was cheap rent. And now, I mentioned the story of Lou Reed lived in Ludlow Street for $38 a month, and it took him a while to figure out who he was. And then he became Lou Reed, because he could afford to be there. Now it's, $3,000 a month for a studio in some of those new expensive buildings at Ludlow, so you're not going to have Lou Reed anymore. So I think we're all poorer because of that. And when you get rid of everybody in society and you want everybody to look the same, that's a poor society. That's like China or some fascist place. You can't wear that jacket, I can't have this beard, you can't stand over there. What's that shit about? That's not freedom. And this is kind of like, the one thing that's interesting about Lower East Side is Lower East Side and San Francisco were kind of like two places that dominated culture, because what came out of there is what eventually came out, whether it be the beatniks or the hippies or the punks or, the Hells Angels or whatever, they came out of those places. Well, all that now is disappearing. Now it's just going to be the rich. And I think America and the world is poor because of that. It's not better, it's worse. And there is no heaven on earth. So before, you could look at it and say, wow, that's a pretty grimy society. In a lot of ways, that's true. But when you clean the whole thing up, when it gets too expensive for anybody to be there, then you got a boring, shitty society. So you want to go party? So Hal, thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, Hal can certainly answer them in German.
Ja, ich glaube, der Clayton hat das ja alles gesagt, dass wir ganz einfach Gefahr laufen, in einen Einheitsbrei zu verkommen und ganz einfach solche Veranstaltungen wichtig sind, um aufzuzeigen, dass es auch noch Leute gibt, die nicht sich reglementieren und regeln lassen und in diesen Einheitsbrei verkommen. Wichtig ist, ich glaube, Clayton ist sehr wichtig zu sagen, ich habe vorher lange mit ihm geredet, ich glaube, es ist sehr wichtig zu sagen, dass nur eben, wie er auch vorher gesagt hat, Leute aus solchen Kulturen, aus solchen Subkulturen, aus solchen Randgruppen es möglich ist, sich zu entwickeln und zu entstehen und niemals Leute, die ganz einfach aus einem Einheitsbrei herauskommen. Also das ist nicht möglich. Ja, gut, wie auch immer, wir können uns jetzt dann weiter unterhalten und weiter philosophieren. Der Clayton ist dann oben im K3, das ist noch ein Stück oberhalb von der Bierwaage. Wie gesagt, da können wir sich noch unterhalten, privat. Und um 24 Uhr spielen wir dann, circa 24 Uhr, spielen wir dann den Film Capture. Danke für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Und wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann sagt es weiter, es gibt noch morgen und übermorgen eine Vorstellung zur gleichen Zeit. Danke.